Hello, my name is Lily and I work at the support team here at MPC, and today I'm going to walk you through the Action Today dashboard. The Action Today dashboard provides a high-level view of key actionable information across your practice or practices. It is designed to help you quickly identify and resolve issues, keep appointment diaries full, manage outstanding debts, and monitor daily performance. To access the Action Today dashboard, you can do this in two ways. You can click the Action Today button here on the left-hand navigation menu, or select the first tile on the MPC landing page. Please note, if you have access to fewer than 15 practices, the Action Today dashboard will automatically load as your landing page when you log in. What the dashboard shows. The dashboard displays reports covering key operational areas including diary utilization, unpaid invoices, failed to attends, cancellations, open course of treatment with no future appointments, workflow compliance failures, recalls due without an appointment booked, lapsed patients, and potential diary issues. You can click on any KPI tile to drill down into the full detailed report, which I will go over within this video. Let's start at the top with practice selection. If you have access to more than one practice, you will see that all of them are selected. To select only one practice, you click on this section here and you can select the practice of your choice, and Create Dashboard will automatically update the view that you see. The date next to the practice shows the last date upload, and the colour indicates the status of the update. MPC updates overnight, pulling data from the practice management software, and the date is colour-coded. Green means everything updated successfully last night. Amber means data is still being transferred. Just keep an eye on this, as it usually completes processing around 7 a.m. Red means no data was received and troubleshooting is needed. If you ever see red, that's a flag to act, not ignore. To log this, you would select the question mark in the bottom right-hand corner here, scroll down and select data processing issue. This will log with our team, who can then investigate this and remedy accordingly. The first section on the Action Today dashboard is the diary utilization. This shows the percentage of time booked and the number of hours of unbooked time in the diaries for that day. It shows you this for today, the next working day, and the day after that. If you are checking the Action Today dashboard late in the week, it will take into account whether you are open over the weekend or not and reflect that on the working days. Clicking on this tile opens the appointment diary report that will show you the day that you are checking and the following 7 days. If you have more than one practice selected, it will show the bar graphs for each practice. Clicking on the practice then shows you a more detailed view of the diary breakdown as a bar graph for each clinician. Clicking on this again, you can see exactly where the unbooked time is. You can click on this again to show further details, including the patient names, time of the appointment, and the reason for appointment as well. This is particularly useful to see where your focuses are for filling the unbooked time, should that be a priority for you that day. The next section is unpaid invoices for the last working day, the past 7 days, and the past 30 days. Clicking on this tile opens the invoice and payment report that will bring up a list of the patients that have an outstanding balance within the last 30 days, and will also show if they have paid part of the balance. It will also give you the course of treatment number. On this report, there's a clickable link as the number is in blue to then show you the treatment plan in detail, exactly as it is shown on your patient management software. This acts as a to-do list for invoices from the past 30 days to focus on to gather full payment from the patients. This is particularly useful to provide to your reception team to work through. The next section is failed to attend. This section shows you the number of patients that failed to attend on the last working day and the patients in the last 30 days who have failed an appointment that do not have an appointment rebooked. Clicking on this tile will open the patient FTA detail report. This brings up a list of patients that have FTA'd sorted by FTA date. This list column shows you the length of appointment, the patient information, and most importantly, the number of FTAs in the last 24 months. This is particularly useful if your practice has an FTA policy for charging or deregistering patients. Clicking on each of the columns will sort the list of patients according to that column's information. For example, clicking on the new appointment made column will bring those patients that do not have another appointment booked to the top to then be focused on for contacting and rebooking should you wish. The next section is cancellations. This section shows you the number of patients who have cancelled in the last 30 days that do not have another appointment booked, and the number of hours in the diary that have had appointments cancelled out and not rebooked for today and the next working day. Clicking on this tile will open the patient cancellation reports. Clicking on each of the columns will sort this list of patients according to that column's information. For example, clicking on the new appointment made section will bring those that don't have an appointment to the top to then focus on for rebooking. The report also shows the number of days notice a patient has given and how many times that patient has cancelled in the last 24 months if you scroll this along to the right. The number of days notice column is particularly useful for if your practice has a late cancellation policy for charging, or in some cases deregistering for patients if this is happening on a frequent basis. The next section is open course of treatment without an appointment. This section will show you how many NHS and private course of treatment are open with no appointment booked in from the 1st January 2020 until today. This does not include a patient that has an appointment booked in the diary that is directly linked to a course of treatment, but will include if patients have been given multiple options that are still open on the patient management software. Clicking on this tile will then open up either the treatment plans by period detail report or the NHS treatment plans by detail report. This will then produce a list of clinicians that work in the practice with a number of open courses of treatment under each of their provider initials on the practice management software. The number next to the clinician's name is a clickable link, as the number is in blue, that will then open up another page that will have the patients and the course of treatment information. When patients are on the treatment plans by period detail report, you can sort them in a few options on the input section at the top here. You can use this to choose a particular time frame, choose from a particular practice if you have more than one, a particular clinician, a specific payer code, the completed type, in this case it is incomplete and unbooked, a specific treatment code from the system. You can type that into the box here to search for a specific treatment type on a course of treatment. Or if you would like to focus on booking in the higher value course of treatment, that is in this section here. If you would like to focus on one specific type of treatment, for example, if your clinician has an implant clinic and would like to make sure that the patients that have unbooked implant course of treatment, this is particularly useful for booking in those that do have that on their open course of treatment. The next section is reception workflow compliance failures. This section is only applicable to practices using Exact. This section shows you the number of patients that have been seen on the last working day and over the past 7 days, and the number of workflow compliance failures that have been reported in the coloured box above. Clicking on this tile will then open up the workflow compliance detail report. This will show an overview of the failures, the reason why, and exactly what the patients are included in the failures from the next 7 days. So you can see here, for example, these patients have not been able to book in their future dentist recall. The next section is recalls due without an appointment booked. This section shows you the number of patients that are due for a recall with a dentist and a hygienist in the next 7 days. And if you click on the last 30 days, this will then show you the number of patients that were due within the last 30 days that have not attended for a recall appointment with either the dentist or the hygienist. Clicking on this tile will then open up the recall effectiveness detail report. If you click on this for due in 7 days, it will bring up a list of patients that are due a recall that do not have an appointment in the diary for this, and clicking on the past 30 days will bring you a list of patients who have failed recall within that time frame. This report will also show you the patient information, when the appointments were due, and will show you on the right hand side here the report of contacts that have been made to the patient that have been reported on the patient management software. For example, a text message, an email, or a letter from the system. The next section is lapsed patients. This section shows you how many patients are due to become lapsed patient on your system for last month, this month, and next month. Our definition of a lapsed patient is a patient that is marked as active on the patient management software but has not attended the practice for any treatment within the last 2 years. This means that no treatment codes have been applied to this patient's file within that time. Clicking on this tile will open the active patient period report. Depending on which section of the tile you click on, it will either show you the data for last month, for this month, or for next month. The active patients in period report gives you an overview of your active patients, lapsed patients, new patients, and any change to the patient's active status over the month of choice. If you select last month or this month, it will show you returning patients if applicable within that month. These are patients who were previously deemed as lapsed that have since attended an appointment where treatment has been carried out within that month, making them an active patient again. The data that is shown for the current month will refresh with any changes that occur over the month. And if you click on this report for the next month, it will only include the information on the current active patients and lapsed patients. Once you move into that month, it will then track the further progress on any of the figures, but of course this will then become the current month on the Action Today dashboard. Where you can see that the numbers are in blue, you can click on this and it will bring up a list of the lapsed patients or the list of new patients, etc., depending on which one you select. The last section is potential unblocked diaries. This section shows you if you have any unblocked diaries. This is defined by a clinician's diary that is open with no patients booked in. This could be for a variety of reasons, the most common being a book opened in error or that a clinician has opened an additional day but you do not have the chance to book patients into this as yet. Clicking on this tile will open the appointment diary and will only show for the practices and clinicians that the unblocked diaries apply to. To conclude, the Action Today dashboard gives you areas of concern with the reporting, to then give you a list of actions for you to work on to ensure the practice is running to the best of its ability, keeping the patients active, the appointment diaries full, and the patient invoices paid. Over time, and with more actions completed, you will see the results on your Action Today dashboard and the red sections turning into green sections. Thank you for watching and for your time today. And if you would like to request any further training or support, please email us on support@mypracticecloud.com.